Martin from Seekage, the channel for learning about trading and investing. We look on the markets tomorrow, the daily stock market technical analysis, where we look at the charts and try to understand what happened during the market, what happened in the market during the day, and then also plan for a better trade for the next day. That's February 15th, Thursday, tomorrow, 2024. Mega volatile banking index on a weekly expiry for the Banknifty today. So big moves, and is it a breakout that's in the making? Let's try to understand. This is a snapshot of what happened today, except for the Fyers data that is not coming yet. But we would straight dive into the charts and try to understand before that. So let's quickly take the plain chart candlestick. Look at this. It's definitely an engulfing bullish white range candlestick that you're seeing. That's right, completely engulfed. Not only the previous candle, but the previous to previous. 3 candles together are engulfed inward. So that's definitely bullish. And if you look at the candle size, never recently we had a green candle of that size anywhere in the recent past, except probably in January 1st week or something. So that's also an engulfing pattern. The previous candle is completely engulfed. Definitely bullish again, and it has managed to close above the 2-day exponential moving average. In fact, it did take out the 50, but gave up some of the profits later. Now let's put in the trend line channels. We have a close above the 2-day exponential moving average, which is positive. Remember, we had a complete recovery that was made of the previous retracement, and then it started another retracement to 1.5% since the last 2 weeks, and that seems to be not true, and it's indicated that the price may want to move finally to the top, to a new all-time high. Looks like, if this trend line is breached, right? That could possibly happen, and that's because of the fact that the Banknifty has given a very bullish candle today, closing about the 20 moving average. But it has to sustain. Will it sustain? Tomorrow's expiry on the Nifty would confirm that. So the main thing is now 50 exponential moving average, and then the 47,000 and 47,200. These are the targets. That has to get closed today, means tomorrow, or by Friday or Monday, whatever. So that's the time when it would confirm its position inside the blue trend line channel, which is just managed to climb back into from where it had breached multiple times, making double top. Another very interesting factor is there is a pattern of if you put the Bollinger Bands, you can see that this is the Bollinger Bands, right? You can see that the price has slightly slipped outside of the bands and then made a new low of the next leg inside the bands, and then that's a volatility divergence setup which is bullish in nature. That would be basically a W pattern that would be formed, one leg outside, one leg inside of what? Inside of the bands. If you're not familiar with this strategy of this pattern, then this setup, you can check the playlist of technical analysis, you will find them, right? So that's again bullish, and that's found in the Banknifty also, right? Banknifty, this is how the bands look, but you can see that the price has fallen outside the band once and made another dip inside the bands, outside, inside. That's volatility divergence. That's a setup that's bullish in nature, and that could eventually become a W pattern breakout. That can be the size of the W. So probably that makes it even more bullish. But otherwise, Bollinger Bands, if you see, it's clearly indicative that the band is squeezing, contracting, and that indicates less volatility in the coming days, and also it indicates pure sideways movement. The expansion stopped in the Banknifty. Banknifty also squeezed and contracts, and then it would eventually become narrow. So that it's going to be lesser volatility coming days, but it could mean that it's sideways movement on both the indices. So that's another thing. And if you just take out and understand the levels of the Banknifty, the first resistance will come in at the 22,000, obviously because it's a rounding, big rounding number, and there is all-time high very close by 22,127. So that will be the zone of congestion. That's where the double top was made, and the triple top, would it make or not, will come to. It would also mean that we will be breaking out of this, and if it closes above this parallel channel breakout, then it indicates that it can go as high as 22,500. That's the next stop after the all-time high is reached if it happens. Downside, the supports will come in at 21,500, then 21,350, which is a confluence of the 50 exponential moving average and the Fibonacci 23. And if that is breached, then you have a gap support of 2950 and 21,000 rounding number also as a support. Before that, you have the previous swing low support that comes in at 21,130 nearby. That's the support downside. So let's similarly look at the Banknifty. So the first trouble would be to take out the 50 exponential moving average, which it had taken out today but could not sustain and close above that. So that's the first thing. That comes in at 46,000, and so that's a rounding number as well. So that's 46,000 and 46,055. That's the main resistance to the upside. If that is breached, then 47,000 is the next stop. 47,000 is a big rounding number, and 47,075 would be the Fibonacci 23.6 retracement, which would actually reverse to the upside generally. Post which the next stop is 47,200, which would be previous swing high, and then it's a gap of 48,000. That's going to be a major resistance on the upside. So 47,500 obviously can come in between as a resistance as well. Downside, 200 exponential moving average at 44,689 or 690. 44,690 is the major support, but before that, the 45,000 is the major support, big rounding number, and also the 45,840 that it had cleared. It's a 20 exponential moving average that could be support. Then likewise 45,620, which also it has cleared 100 exponential moving average, that also acts as support. And if the 200 exponential moving average at 44,690 is also breached, then you have the 44,429, which is the previous swing low, and that support also breaches, then takes you to 44k and 43,950, 960, which has got a gap support. That's how Banknifty support resistance are there. Let's get back and have a wrap up. If you're interested, I will show you another interesting fact, an interesting pattern basically on the Nifty. So if you look at the Nifty charts, if you look at the weekly charts, you can see where it is heading. So it's a beautiful multiple flag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's moving up, retracing, moving up, retracing, moving up, retracing. That's a beautiful multiple flag breakouts that you can see. Same thing can be seen here on Banknifty as well. Look at this. Flag 1, flag 2, flag 3, flag 4, flag 5, flag 6 in the making. Right? So that's very interesting. So we are on the uptrend basically. So this is a quick wrap up. So we have a close about the 21,800 today, 850 less than, very close to that. So it's a 100 points move. It's a 0.5% move, and with both has formed bullish engulfing, and one is a bear trap. Powerful bullish patterns, and Banknifty has gained much more, double of what Nifty had gained. It's 0.89 and it's 400 points up move. It's closed above the 45,900. It did went above the 46,000, but it's expiry, so it's settled for 45,900. So this cleared the 20 exponential moving average, but still you have the 50 to be taken out. 100 is already taken out. It's a mistake there, right? So remember, we have a 26% rally, and it had Banknifty had a deeper cut of 8.5%, while Nifty had a 31% rally from the previous swing lows, and then it had a 4.5% earlier retracement, which is completely recovered, and then again it started with 2.5%, which seems to have died down or fizzled out. Intraday price action was a dip in the morning, and there was a deeper dip on the case of Banknifty, and then it was a V-shaped reversal, and then it was trending up all day till the end of the day. And it was such sharp moves of 1,200, 300 points from the bottom, and so Banknifty was a very sharp move. So the institutional support was there in the last couple of days, and all this selling in the last several days was because of the retailers and not because of the Fyers, because Fyers were actually buying the last 2 days and they're not selling big. They sold last time on February 8th, a big time, right? So last 3 days it's actually market was very volatile because of the retail fear, and while the institutions were fairly positive. So today's data has not come in, but institutions has been supporting. Today's data has come in just, yeah. So actually it was big selling that happened, and it was compensated by 2,890, almost equal buying by the domestic institution in the cash market. So this is quite surprising that we had a green day, which was also because of the selling. So the selling was not in the bank stocks probably. That's why the Nifty was hesitant to move up, but the bank was breaking out like that. So that's very interesting to see that the Fyers have sold big once more. Right, another 4,000 crores of selling, but bank DS trying to balance that. So that's not the great news to see that the Fyers are back in the selling. Had a hawkish Fed. CPI inflation has increased than estimated in the US. That came out today, probably because of the Fyers are mad. But that's not very good news to see that the Fyers have stopped small buying at least and then got into big selling. It's not very interesting news. That's only bad news for the today. Resistance support levels for the indices have already been discussed, and I'm repeating that. Momentum remains the same as it is in the sideways itself and rising up. But it's now rising up in the Banknifty also, which is kind of weak yesterday. It's falling. And the trend is bullish. That is another thing. The trend indicator ADX, if you're using, is turned bullish in the short term. It had not been able to cross over to the bull zones yesterday. Banknifty remains to have a trend as per the ADX in the short term, which is in the bear zone still. Continue to be bearish. Even after all the drama that happened to the Banknifty, still the trend has not turned. We'll have to wait for tomorrow's and the day after tomorrow's. End of the week it will be clear as to where we're heading. Would it sustain all this? Indian weeks is 2.5% down. It's cooled up a little bit. 15.43, but still above the low volatility range. We have to be cautious as to watch out for that if it's going to once again move above the 16 and then head towards the 20 kind of level. So we have to be cautious. Bollinger Bands are confirming a contraction on both indices with a bullish bias. That's one thing that indicates the market has squeezed in, and then going ahead, local volatility may cool off, and then it will be basically sideways actually going to be happening on both indices. Henceforth is what's indicative of this Bollinger Bands. We're already seeing that. So technically the charts still continue to be the sideways. And the trend is yet to completely cross over to the bull zones in the short term on both the indices. But we claim the 20 exhibition moving average by both the indices, and bands confirming a contraction sideways, and also the bullish pattern that is formed through the Banknifty. If it does not further fall down, then there is probability of another breakout. That's what the answer to the question. But the question is whether the banks will once again fail to climb and sustain above the 47k. Would it move till that? And if it moves till that, will it sustain above that? It went closer to that earlier, but didn't sustain. Similarly, the Nifty went closer to the 22,000, but didn't sustain. We had a double top problem there. Now triple top problem is going to be there or not? That's a question in front of us. If it doesn't happen, then we have an all-time high. Pre-election rally, maybe that. Never know. All we can know is to manage our risk and watch the volatility and know the support and resistance level, what probabilities for resistance and support is there. That's all. Now we have if you analyze the sectoral analysis, it is a green day except for the IT and the pharma, which is a defensive stock which is supporting the market till yesterday, was kind of slightly red. But still, the IT, the auto, pharma, the three major sectors are still making the bullish movement on the daily charts. While the metal, reality, and FMCG in the sideways, FMCG just climbed back in the sideways after having fallen to the bears off in the short term. If you understand the heavyweight stocks that contribute maximum to the index, they are closed green except for the HDFC Bank, Nifty, and the TCS. They are just slightly red. Now the reliance on the TCS has remained in the bullish zones, right? While others are all the sideways zones, and we have the trouble in HDFC Bank and ITC. Kodak Bank has climbed back to the sideways once again. Right? So it's a mixed bag across the heavyweight stocks that you see. Now the trouble here is after the inflation data is coming, CPI, in the US markets it is close to red. Almost 1% or more than that is falling the Dow Jones and S&P 500 and Nasdaq and all of that. So that's trouble. Remember that it had been rallying consistently, and it's in very top. And is it just a small retracement, or is it going to further move? Is it the end of the rally? No. So since the motor market, we have to be cautious in following that. We'll closely watch that. The gold index has spiked slightly towards the 105 level, and the rupee is gained a bit, but it remains weak at very close to the 83 levels where it's managed by the central bank. Crude oil is right at 78, trying to move up to the top of the channel from the retracement that it had done since last 7 months. And the gold is fallen and it's red, but it's at the top and it's not ready to easily give it up after having made an all-time high very close to a few weeks before. Now, whenever we have a dip like what happened the other few days, these were all small opportunities to buy or invest in long-term on quality stocks in a very SIP mode. Now, as far as a trader is concerned, it's a sideways momentum is that what you understand, and you have to apply strategies accordingly. Option sellers do not find it that great because of the difference in the implied volatility and the actual realized volatility. The spread is not in favor of the option seller set, but still sideways markets would push really hard for weekly strategies and monthly strategies. Help a little bit rather than go for breakouts until the momentum climbs up into the bull zones. As far as at least the RSI it does not happen yet, although it's moving up. It takes some more days to confirm that the indices are in which direction. So when the market goes directional as per the momentum, then go for directional strategies and directional spreads. Otherwise, stick to non-directional or range within the range and all this kind of place. But tomorrow we have Nifty weekly expiry. Would that be as violent as what happened in the Banknifty today? So it looks like it may be, because that's what the option writers are saying. The highest put writing is at 21,000 and the highest call writing is at 22,000. 1,000 points with a put call ratio of 1.2. Option writers basically have no clues where the market could move, otherwise they wouldn't have written such a very far wide range puts and calls. Support resistances are very wide apart, they have no clues, but it's bullish put call ratio overall if you see, which is bullish, and option versus futures build up that happened today. Futures had a long build up that happened today on the Nifty, so that way it's bullish. The rest of that is expiry play would be either oversue the play on option buying or directional or non-directional strategies between this range that we have. That's all that can be done. The rest is to manage your positions, manage your risk. That's it. So play it safe, and remember the VIX has not cooled off that much. It's still above the 50, so be careful. That's all I have. If you're watching this and not subscribed, please subscribe and share it to your friends and colleagues so that reaches out to max. And that's all I have. Thanks for watching. Happy trading, happy learning, happy investing. Bye bye.